three of the toughest audiences in the world judging this. Gamers, who are usually disgruntled and have a standard for everything else than a standard for Disney in general. Kids is the second toughest, and then John Lasseter. So you've got the three toughest audiences in the world in this game. Did you realize that going in, that man, we're Disney and these are iconic characters, but this is going to be a tough sell? Or was it like, once people get their hands on it, they'll get it?
I think it's both. I think we knew we had a tough sell, but the more we worked on it and the more we started seeing it in people's hands, the more we believe we were on the right track. There's definitely an excitement when people freak out when he's like, oh, and Jack Skellington's in the game. Wow, Jack Skellington, I can't believe it, and Mickey is the Sorcerer's Apprentice, like, and so you can't help but get juiced up over that stuff. You watch, gamer dads playing with their sons or gamer moms playing with their daughters, and just like families getting together and all sitting down and playing the game.
It's interesting you mentioned kids and their families. This is like the backyard softball for people who live in condos now, as these games. And the thing that gets into that with parents, you have to convince the parents as well as the kids,
sure,
right? And something like this, it's the same as any other thing of this type. It's price point, introductory price point. So it sounds steep until you actually get into what you get. So what's the retail price and what do they get for that?
So the retail price is $74.95, which definitely we think, oh, for a video game. Now core gamer guys are like, it's like $10 more than maybe I'm gonna normally play, $5-10. So, but I think parents who are more used to, I'm gonna go buy a video game, that's gonna be like $29.95, $39.95. There's a certain price point in their head. I think once you start dissecting it, you actually realize kind of the ridiculous value it becomes. So you get the game itself, right, which has 3 different play sets. Each of those are anywhere from about to a 6 to 10 hour experience, depending on how completionist you are, how much time you take each play set is. So just in play sets, you're getting, around 30 hours of gameplay.
You're getting a Call of Duty campaign.
Right, you're getting, maybe not exactly, but yes, in terms of length of gameplay, but you've got a Monsters University play set, you've got a Pirates of the Caribbean play set, you've got an Incredibles play set. You also get 3 characters with that, so 3 of the figures. You get Sully, Mr. Incredible, and Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow. And then you also get one of the power discs, and power discs are they're either round or they're hexagonal. The round ones go under characters and kind of give you buffs for your characters, so they might help you get economy faster, give you more hit points, let you do more damage. So obviously there's some things they can't do, but only where it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense for Lightning to ride a horse, because Lightning's a car. He doesn't have to ride a horse to get someplace, right? But
I've read some fan fiction where he did, but
I probably do not want to know. Well, actually, probably do want to know, but I probably don't want to know about that.
No, it's not that kind of fan fiction.
Oh, okay. I was a little like, what?
Just
just like hanging out, just strange.
Not that kind of writing,
Okay,
and not this is. I'm keeping it clean, man. Stop being a bad. Jeez, this is hard enough for me as is. I'm gonna spin around, and we're gonna go back. All right.
But it's been fun.
You're pulling from Skylanders, you're pulling from Little Big Planet, you're pulling from Mario Kart, and it's hit that point now where you fuse so many things. It's like Harry Potter. There's hardly any new ideas in Harry Potter. There's hardly new ideas in Lord of the Rings, but they bore from so many places, and all of a sudden you've got this brand new magical place. Did that just happen, or was that like, no, we can't just rip it off. We have to do something different?
Yeah, I know it's definitely about doing something different. It's those things where like the gameplay. We've been working on the game for over 3 years. The idea of actually having physical and digital interoperate. Disney did in AppMates, like before Skylanders ever even came out.
So you started this.
That's the thing is but you look at it, and I think that similarities, right, is like, oh, I've got a physical toy,
right.
There's a device, it's in my game,
right?
I think that certainly, everyone's excited to see, like, hey, this has really broad appeal.
Right.
But I think that's one of the things that when we look at Infinity, we have these pillars that we've really, since the beginning, built it around. It's creativity, it's imagination, it's technology. We wanted to find ways, that were new and unique to let people tell stories. The technology component is big. It's one of the core pillars of the Walt Disney Company. Same thing for us. We're like, what are we going to do that's going to make this really different when somebody plays it? And I think when you start seeing those things, that's how it has evolved into that, where it does have these more directed gameplay elements.
Now, how infinite is this Disney universe? Are we going to see some Marvel characters? Are we going to see some Star Wars?
I think those are going to be some of the fun explorations we get to do moving forward.
Now, last question, I'm going to get kind of deep. You call it agnostic. It works with everything. Now, we were talking about this off camera, and this is really ambitious because you've got this interoperability on everything through a Disney account. How does that translate to ease of use for kids and, more importantly, their parents?
So one of the things we wanted to do was to make sure that we, as you said, we're agnostic in every way we could be. We want kids to be able to play the game, and whether they're at home or their friend's house or on the go because they're in the back of the car on a trip, to be able to keep playing in their Infinity experience. I think you see that with the toys. That's the easiest way because the toys go to any platform. They work everywhere. We have web codes, so if I buy a toy, I can even have it work on iOS. It's got meaning everywhere. So that toy always has that value.
It's not locked to your system.
Right, it's not locked to your system. It has, and in a more little deeper technical dive, it has memory inside of it. So when it levels up, it knows it's yours. You've told it it's yours, and so that kind of mechanic is there. I think people are familiar with that idea from different areas. The next crazy step we went to is we said we want the game that I'm playing, so the toy box I'm building very specifically, to work everywhere as well.
This is the big leap for me.
Yeah,
this one.
It was the big leap for us too.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time talking with our fabulous partners at Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo to start with, and said, here's what we want to do. If I'm playing on a Wii U and I'm building a toy box, I want to be able to use a Disney ID account, save that to the cloud, a Disney cloud, and then when I go to my buddy's house and he's on his Xbox 360, I want to sign in a Disney ID, pull that toy box down from the cloud, now I can play it on his 360. It's the first time it's ever been done, which kind of speaks to the ambition where...
I'm right in my mind right now from a programming perspective. Basically, the idea is a recipe and it tells the console what to build in its name.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much analogous?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
okay, I got it.
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, I mean, from that standpoint, it's all the information on what you need to get built with, and then it's like a blueprint basically is maybe another way to think of it. Right, and it does it there on that system. Right.
So you're not going to kill your blacks on your PS3. You're not going to get green.
Tons of stuff. Right. Yeah. So it looks exactly like it should on that system. Plays just like it should on that system. And to me, the big exciting one is that now we got Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and Apple, and we're all kind of having this way that people who play in all those different platforms can do stuff. The other part that works with that is, of course, if somebody, for example, on the iOS builds a super cool roller coaster, for example, or a rail grind roller coaster, they can upload that to us. We then will curate content that gets submitted to us, and people say, hey, I think this would be really cool, and I want to have this under consideration to come out to everybody who plays Infinity. We have a lot of customer service. We have people that will go through that and make sure that it's appropriate for Disney audiences. And then we will actually be able to push that down to anybody who plays the game. So somebody could make something, they could create it on iOS, and that could end up being played by anybody on any platform. And just the way that works with everybody. So Xbox gamers are going to be making cool toy boxes that Nintendo guys are going to play, and PlayStation guys are going to make cool stuff that iOS gamers are going to download. And I just think it's such an exciting way for us to reach out across everywhere where gamers are and have that connectivity.
If Disney can teach the big three console companies to share, I think you have to take Disney Infinity to the UN, because I think just that's it. You've got the formula for world peace right here, Bill. I'm going to spin around again.